How's it going, guys? Hope your day is going well. Today I'm going to show you how to install a bumper onto a Matryx sled. Whether it's a slash or a non-slash, it should be the same thing. Let's get started. I'll tell you one thing, Arby's might have the meats, but BackwoodsBMP definitely has the beef. These rear bumpers are super strong, and they have these perfect little cutouts so that the bumper fits nice and snug against the tunnel. The rear grab handle is a perfect grip texture. I think every Matryx owner should definitely get their hands on one of these. So first things first, we need to get the stock bumper off. It's only held on by a few Torx bolts on either side. On the inside of the tunnel, you'll find 4 Torx bolts on the inside that you'll need to remove, as well as one on the top side that's a little bit tricky to get off. So ran into first little issue trying to get the bolt out of the rear. It points basically directly at the light. You can't get directly onto the bolt with anything. It's just in a really tight spot there. So basically what I did is have a T25 Torx socket as well as, and with a 1/4 inch wrench, having to do that basically. It's a little bit slower, but it works. Obviously it's a little difficult with one hand. Then it's just as quick and simple as removing all those bolts and the bumper will pop right off. Now it's not really necessary to clean the tunnel off, but I did it anyway just because I'm kind of weird like that. Now we need to drill all the holes for the rivets, which is actually nice and easy because all you need to do is place the new bumper against the tunnel and line it up with the holes from the stock bumper and insert a couple rivets to hold it in there. I went ahead and mocked up both sides as well as the grab handle just to make sure everything was going to fit right, and then riveted the 2 sides on in just a couple spots so that I can use these side pieces essentially as a template to drill all the holes. And I'm not too worried about making marks in the holes with the drill bit since they're going to be covered by the rivets. And if you're worried about getting bits of aluminum in between the brace and the tunnel, you can always drill out the rivets that you inserted and remove those shavings. I just used a little bit of compressed air and it got 99% of the shavings out of there. I wasn't too worried about getting every single tiny little piece out. From there, it's pretty straightforward. Just start riveting away. One note though is that you're using the correct rivets that come with the kit. Some of the rivets are longer and they're intended for the holes in the grab handle because since that's where the tunnel brace and the handle meets, that part's a little bit thicker, so it needs that longer rivet. So just out of my own sheer ignorance and just not completely paying attention, I made a pretty serious mistake in overpressuring the air rivet gun that I was using, and the result was the back end of it turning into a projectile. 100% my fault. Got a nice little new central pneumatic air riveter, and the end broke off as I'm doing a little bit of riveting here, but hit me directly in the chest while under pressure. So that was fun. After that, said screw it and went out and bought a Milwaukee electric rivet gun. Pretty slick. After that, you're all set and ready to ride with a nice beefy bumper and a much stiffer tunnel. I never had any issues with install, specifically relating to the Backwoods bumper itself. This ended up being one of the best things that I've done to my Matryx so far. 10 out of 10, definitely recommend. So after about 500 miles, at least, with the rear bumper, this thing has held up very well considering how much these things spend. Not being used lightly, but the coating held up very well. It's a little dirty, obviously. It's held up very well. I honestly thought the sticker on here was going to come off within the first ride, but it's staying on there pretty darn nicely. I am just overall amazed at just the quality of the rear bumper from these guys. It's so good. When I was looking around for rear bumpers for the Slash, I really wanted something that was nice and thick and that was really going to stiffen up the rear end of the Slash tunnel, considering there's no cooler or anything, so it's not as strong as like the Axis tunnels. But just the fit and finish of everything on this really surprised me. Just all the little cutouts just here and there, going around all the stock rivets and everything. It just fits so darn well. And if I'm perfectly honest, I really wasn't too sure about having the rear bumper raised up like this. But when it came to tugging the sled out of a trench or something like that, which honestly didn't really happen too often because of the Slash tunnel, but it was really nice to have this raised up to be able to yank on the rear end of the sled, and we could pull just as hard as we wanted and didn't have to worry about potentially bending the rear of the tunnel or anything like that. Made it real nice. If you have any questions about the BackwoodsBMP bumper, let me know in the comment section below. If you'd like to pick one up for your sled, I'll leave a link in the description below for BackwoodsBMP's site. I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and we'll see you next time. Thanks.